Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Throwing it back, the camera's playing up, we're filming on the phone, we're in the office. Mark Tibbs down the gym, thank you for having me. How's things, brother?
Lovely, Charlie. Really good to see you. And thank you for coming and interviewing a couple of boys I've got.
It's always good to come down and see the lads. It's nice to see an environment. I say this when I visit some gyms, but it is like a real family vibe here. Everyone bounces off each other, nurturing each other, especially as there are a lot of big profiles in here as well. Ego could get in the way, but it's not a thing. It's sort of pushed to one side when they enter the doors in here, isn't it?
Well, I'm glad you witnessed that. And did you watch Fletcher's sparring today?
I didn't.
Oh, it's tasty. It was his last spar today. And,
I've missed out, haven't I?
Yeah, it was. He done 8 rounds today. 6 good rounds with the ABA champion Gideon, and he done 2 with a house fighter that's here. So very pleased, and he needed it. He needed to be. He needed his last spar to be like that. He's fighting on the 9th Friday at the Boxing Social.
No, Tommy is on the Queensbury show, isn't it?
BT show.
Yeah.
I do apologise.
No, you're good.
Yeah. And then we got Johnny Fisher on the day after on the Matchroom show at Wembley. So, and Johnny Fisher, you wait to see him perform. Proof is in the pudding. Parsons.
Well, let's talk Johnny Fisher then, to be precise. How much is he coming on? I was just saying to him now, like, there is a reality, and in a real world, he could technically go and fight 20 nobodies and stat pad himself there, because he doesn't have the amateur experience, but he's eager to test himself. He's fighting a southpaw for the first time in his career. You seeing improvements this camp?
Listen, like I said, proof will be in the pudding, yeah, and watch and learn. Parsons. No, all jokes. It's been a really good training camp, this one with Johnny Fisher, the Romford Ball. For the simple fact is, you know, I've got a point to prove. You know, I want to see him more technical. I want to see more counter punches. Yeah, it's got to make sense with what's in front of him, not just bang, crash, wallop. I'm fed up with that. Right, that we can revert to that all the time. But once he gets technical and sets stuff up, that's what boxing's all about, and that's what I'm trying to do with him, is bring him into title contention. And he's consistently been technical, you know what I'm saying?
That's the sort of improvements you've been looking for moving into this fight as well, and especially like taking on a southpaw for the first time, right, as well?
Yeah, well, listen, look, you give someone like Fisher a job to do, yeah, and something to think about, and proofs it in the pudding. So he's goes away, does his own work. I send him little videos here, little reminders here and there. Comes in and he's, I could tell he's been doing his homework, and yeah, I'm very happy the way this has gone, and he's had some decent sparring actually, and yeah, looking forward to him to showcase his skills against the southpaw on Saturday night, next Saturday.
I think on a personal note, he's eager as well. I know that sort of the minute you get a social media following, you're either liked or you're hated, right? And then in boxing, there's a lot of hardcore fans who are always going to sort of push that narrative on him that he shouldn't be a boxer, etc. I know that he won't listen to it much, but then eager to prove his own path on the journey, right?
Well, listen, I don't take too much notice of comments.
No, of course.
I wish I could. Wish I had the time to. No, I don't. I don't wish I had the time to. But what I'm trying to say is, I just like to. I don't like. I feel it's my job to tweak, nurture, polish, and perform. And I take it personal if I know he's capable and we ain't getting there. But I'm happy with this. I'm really happy with this Johnny Fisher camp for the 10th of July. I really am.
Mark, just quickly from me before I want to talk a few things on the world of boxing as a whole. Ebanie Bridges, I know she's awaiting her return. I spoke to her in Dublin. She said she couldn't wait to get back in the gym with you. A real nice sort of friendship between her and Elle as well. She's sort of able to be a bit of a big sister on a boxing standpoint. Excited to have her back and sort of back in those big fights.
Very excited to have Ebanie Bridges back in our gym. She's currently she hasn't got a date. I understand she hasn't got a date yet, so she's ticking over. I think she's gone to the US for a little, for a week. I said a week ain't long enough, and I think she's staying a little bit longer. But I expected her back next week, actually, and this week I'm expecting her back. So yeah, looking forward for Ebanie Bridges to get a date and letting them hands go, dipping their knees up and over behind that long. Well, she when she uses jab bridges now, it's lovely and long. She when she lets that left hand go, it's like she's built like a long person, and she's not. But yeah, no, I'm really excited about Ebanie Bridges coming back and looking forward to her to start unifying. She's very strong, very capable, and she's a hard woman. She's hard.
Do you think with Ebanie, one of the things I spoke to her about is, look, there's also, she wants fights that she can get herself up for, and that's not necessarily in terms of, profile or whatever, but a Shannon Courtney fight, for example, is something that she was gutted that Shannon wasn't able to make the world title fight, because it's a fight that brings needle. It's sort of a rematch that she wanted. I know when she looks at sort of the Nina Hugheses of the division that, she's happy to have the fights as a unification, but she's someone that maybe the best comes out of her when there's a bit of animosity in the build-up. I think we saw that last time in Leeds, didn't we? We've seen that in the past with Ebanie.
Absolutely, she thrives on drama and needle, and that's good. It brings the fire out of her. But and she's another one. She understands. You've got to get a bit technical as well if you wanna hold your position as a world champion, and the structure and strategy behind all battles. But that Shannon Courtney, I can't keep my eye on everything, but I was very, very deflated when she never made that fight. I don't know why. But can you tell me, Charlie, what
an injury
okay.
is all I'm sort of aware of. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's been sort of, there's always speculation. I know Nina's put out that it's not an injury, and her team don't believe that. But on Shannon's side, it seems to be an injury. Ebanie said that she was, you don't pull out of a world title fight without good reason to, sort of thing. But disappointing, as I'm sure that Ebanie would have wanted Shannon to win the fight and then unify. But these things happen, right?
These things happen. That's why it's landscape changes. We've all got plans in our head and what we'd like to do and what we don't want to do. Landscape changes. So what can you do about that?
Mark, finally from me, on the world of boxing as a whole, we always talk about the heavyweights. I laugh, I shouldn't really. In the last week, Tyson Fury's probably been linked to fight more people than we could ever imagine. It started off being Dempsey McKean, then it was Jay Opataya, then it was John Jones, the UFC heavyweight champion, then there's now Anthony Joshua talks again. How do you see it as someone who lives in the sport, dies in the sport every day? We all want to see Tyson Fury back in the ring, but maybe fair to say that we're a bit fed up of this constant social media talk of it. Maybe just get it done.
Well, in an ideal world, yes, that's what we want. But I've not heard of these. All what you just mentioned. I'll tell the truth. I've been busy keeping my eye on my own business. But yeah, we want to see Tyson Fury. He's the king of the heavyweights. We want to see him in action for sure, definitely. That name, Dempsey McKean, I think we try to get him in for Fisher sparring. Sorry to change the subject.
No.
But to be fair, no, I wouldn't like to see Tyson fight them sort of names. With all respect, we want to see him fight, the best. We want to see him fight the best. But let's hope he can nail down a big fight soon.
Mark, just finally from me, Conor Benn, there's always been so much talk, but it looks like he sort of will have his ring return.
Brilliant.
Chris Eubank Jr, we believe.
Fantastic.
Your thoughts on the fight?
Just said it. Brilliant and fantastic. What a fight that everyone would love to see, for sure. Definitely, yeah. Let's hope that, fingers crossed, let's hope that they can get that across the line.
Just on the Conor Benn front, I said to him, in a weird way, everything that's happened to him has made him a more wanted fighter, right? I mean, there's a lot of names out there that want to fight him. You even look at the scuffle he had with Kell, Brook, etc. How do you believe he does against these sort of world level guys? I know Kell's had a bit of time out of the ring, etc., but it would be a real step up, right?
100%. He's a very, 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 very experienced. I don't want to say dinosaur, veteran, Kell Brook, and Conor is a spring chicken compared. But he has fire in his belly. He is very bold and courageous, and I don't know what weight it would be matched at, but you know, Kell Brook would have to get that right, you know, for him to, you know, be in there with a spring chicken. What a great fight!
I think with the time away from the ring that Conor's had, he's able to go straight into names like that, or do you know? I'd sort of speak to you maybe from a coach's perspective, where maybe you look at having a slightly easier touch first, or is he someone that can just go straight into those fights? Because ring rust is a thing, right?
Yeah, well, the real thing is the real thing, and but you know, I'm sure Conor Benn has been ticking over, and he's had his, you know, he's been ticking over, and he's a professional. You know, he's around good people, and you know, business is business. If it's there and it all makes sense, they're professionals. They've got to switch on. They've got to switch on and get the job done. But you know, if he needed a little warm up, something to warm up, I'm sure that could if his trainer feels that he would much prefer a warm up, then why not? He's young enough. I'm not sure Kell, it worked for Kell, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, Mark, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me down. My first time actually in your gym. I'm always in and around with you and the boys, but lovely to see you. And we look forward to seeing, obviously, Johnny and Tommy out in June.
Thanks very much. I must say, I've got another guy, Elle Bartell, middleweight. Keep an eye on this guy. Puncher, box fighter, plenty of arm, getting very cute and getting on his toes a little bit. Likes to plant his feet a lot. But Elle Bartell, middleweight, managed by Richard Maynard, trained by yours truly. Look out for him.
Fighting on Boxing Social, Fight Night Live as well.
You got it. You said it. 21st of July.
Mark Tibbs, always a pleasure. Thank you very much, mate.